Hey guys, Arcade Geek here. Time for another update. If you've been tracking the posts on Clav and Arcade Controls and everywhere else, we've got listings right now. We are down to sort of the nitty gritty. So last, I guess 2 weeks ago or so, the video I posted was us listing basically everything that we had left, everything that we were planning on selling. So anyway, I thought today was time. We've got a bunch of games that were picked up this week and a lot more that are scheduled to be picked up here in the coming weeks. So I thought I'd go through the videos one more time. We also have our sort of first price reduction on the remaining. I think we've got 25 games that are left of the original 110. So today you'll learn about the new prices. I'm going to be making a post that'll accompany this video on Clav tonight. So look for that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So what we've got left here, I've got this sort of Craigslist pickup, which was the Irish Asteroids Deluxe. So that one, I think we are down on, I think $350 on that. So most of the prices that we're knocking off today are anywhere between $50 and $100 off of what we had originally asked. And I guess it's been maybe 10 days ago in the original for sale post. So pole position here. This one was $500, now $450. As I mentioned, the cabinet is in great condition. The game board works, was fully tested, but the monitor is popping. So you turn it on and it blows a fuse. So that's where we're at. But the game itself, the board, the pricey parts of it, and the cabinet really are great. So $450 on that. Pango is sold. This was a eBay pickup for me. I wanted a Berserk cabinet for the J-Rock board. So as I get through and this sort of initial arcade, warehouse video series, I'm going to start actually doing some fun restore videos. And so this Berserk will definitely be on the list. I've got the J-Rock board, as I mentioned, and so I'll be working on that, along with a couple others I mentioned as we're here. Pango is sold. The Ghosts and Goblins is sold. This NFL Blitz Showtime, this was sort of the one that had a little wiring issue. The cabinet has gotten wet a little as well. So it's completely untested, but you get anything that you want out of this cabinet: monitor, the controls, the board. The harness has got some cuts and things, probably needs to be rewired or at least fixed. So that one is $250 for everything that you want out of there. The Discs of Tron, I have an offer of $32.50 on it, but the person doesn't have the funds until July 15th. And, it's a long time to hold a game for somebody that may or may not come through. So I'm going to reprice this one at $32.50 for somebody, but you're going to need to sort of act fast. We've got about 2 weeks on this one before hopefully the other guy's going to take it. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm going to restore this one as well. I've talked about this one in a lot of the video series, and I really was kind of looking forward to do the work here, and I think I will do it if we don't get the $32.50. Tapper is sold. The Gauntlet 2 is now going to be $700. Again, this one, it works great. It's got a little screen burn. The cabinet's in excellent condition, but the controls are just a little wonky. So there needs to be either some rewiring done on the panel, down to the board or something, but the controls are just not quite there yet. But the cabinet itself is in great condition. Sinistar, this one is sold. This is finally being picked up this week. So a lot of these games here. This Paperboy is sold. Pac-Man Plus is sold. Dragon Spirit is sold. Final Lap 3. This one is $250 now. The game, the monitor comes on, looks great. The board pulls up, but the gas pedal wasn't working, and we never did get a chance to look at it. So it could be something simple, could be something more involved. But the cabinet's in pretty decent condition, and fun driving game. Asteroids here, the chassis was never in the game when we bought it, so this one is $250 now, and you'll just need to find a chassis for the monitor. In fact, I think I pulled it off for the video here, so kind of get a look inside the game there. It's definitely complete, just that chassis that's missing. Going over here, the EDOT is sold. That one's actually being picked up this week, so I got a call from the shipping company, so that will be out soon. These Gorfs were another part of an eBay pickup. We bought a lot of games, so they're really not, I don't know that they're for sale. These are Corey's, so he may or may not want to sell them. If you're interested in Gorf parts, the one on the right is complete. I think he's planning on bringing that one back to life. Maybe the one on the left could be for sale. The Z-Back here is now $350. The game plays, but the monitor's a little washed out, and so a little bit of work to do there, but that's in the Z-Back cab as well. Daytona USA, this is 300 now. So the only thing we've tested on this is we plugged the boards in and we got power and lights that lit up on both. So there's 2 board sets inside the game. So you'll get everything you see here with the header. There's a steering wheel in the box there, it's on the seat, and anything else we can find for those games for 300. Bubble Bobble here is 500, and that one, the monitor is a little washed out. I think I'm actually going to keep this one, and that will be my multi-Taito. I did pick up a multi-Taito board, and I want one of those for my house. So probably not for sale, but if somebody wants the kit itself, the Bubble Bobble original board, you know, marquee, bezel, anything else, the harness you can have as well for 500, then that's yours. Let's see, notice there's just a ton of open spaces in here, man. It's really getting down to the nitty gritty, and a ton of this stuff, as you see, is sold. So, this room used to be wall to wall, and Paperboy is sold. Both of our Star Wars are now sold, being picked up this week. This is the last of the 2. The Kangaroo Project, so you have a nice control panel, the nice bezel. It's missing the marquee and it's missing the game board. The cabinet itself it's okay. It's missing the back door, and obviously there's some marks and things on it, but that one is now $150. So if you've got a board and you can pick up a cheap marquee for literally nothing, you'll have a Kangaroo. Going in here, the Super Pac cabinet, it's empty, but it does have the monitor in there. It was converted to some SNK, playing game or something at some point. But you get everything there, and that one is $100. Pong Doubles, as I've mentioned in prior videos, it's just a rare game. It needs to have a little love on the restore. The game board works. It's not rendering 2 of the 4 paddles, but you can accidentally hit the ball with the missing, the paddles that don't show up on the screen. So, just a really cool vintage game that you just don't see very often, but it definitely needs a restore. It got a little wet at the bottom at some point. It's got some damage here on the left as well. That one is 500. Play Choice 10 is sold. The Robotron, so this is another one in the upcoming video restore series. So I'll be working on this. You can see there's a little bit of water damage on the front of the bottom that I'll be cutting out, but the game plays and works great. It just needs a ton of cosmetics. So I've already got my stencils in, and I've got my control panel overlay, and the original 4-inch Wiko joysticks are actually inside the game, so I'll be sort of converting this back to the former glory. So that's upcoming. The Escape from Robot Monsters game, this is sold. Mr. Do here is sold. So the Blitz 99, if you watched the prior videos, that control panel is sitting on top. I slid the game out, knocked me in the head, and then bounced on the neck of the tube, and of course busted it. So what you'll get on this one for $150 is you'll get the monitor chassis, you get a working game board, it's got coin doors, there's a wiring harness that you can have. If you want the cabinet, you can have that as well. Obviously it's gotten a little wet over the years, and it's going to need some wood hardener and restore. But it's got the back door, you can have all the artwork, the working game board, you name it, that little Nintendo 64 card slot that came on the front of the game. But for $150, it's yours. And of course we could ship that kit easily with the board and the chassis and whatnot. So Journey, this one is sold. The Tempest is sold, and we can see we're working on both those games as we speak. The Arch Rivals now is $200. It's a working game, so it's in a Bally Xenophobe cab, but the game works, and I think it's fun. Just an unusual cabinet. I'll talk about the Dartboards a little more. Those are still available. Pole Position Cockpit. So in this one, you're going to get a working board set in the full game, but the power supply needs to be rebuilt at a minimum, and the rest of the game has not been tested. So you can kind of get a shot of it inside. You've got Pole Position, essentially Pole Position 1 artwork for most of it, and then the Pole Position 2 sticker is on the back. So if you want, you can sort of peel it off, and I bet get back to the original Pole Position 1 sticker that's underneath. And that one is $350. So that's the steal of the century. I mean, the boards sell for $175, so you get the whole rest of the game, a complete game, for an extra $175. Miss Pac-Man here is empty. I think that one is still available, and that one's $250 now. It doesn't have a monitor. The whole game is untested, but you'll get the wiring harness, the game board, obviously the marquee, bezel, control panel, coin doors. I mean, all those parts really add up, and you can pick up Miss Pac-Man the Miss Pac-Man style monitors aren't that expensive. So for maybe another $100, you probably pick this up and complete the game. Galaga here, we had this at 600. As you can see, the game's in great shape. The monitor just is not syncing, so it needs some monitor work. But the rest of the cabinet is nice. And this game is now 500, was 6. So that's that one. Still haven't gotten around to the Donkey Kong work. As I've mentioned, we've got an offer of 800 on it working. We just need to really spend the time to get it working. We've both been really busy with work lately, so I just haven't had the time. Needs the T-molding and the coin doors pulled, and there was a fuse that had blown. It was one of those little small ones, and so we've got a new one in. So hopefully that resolves the issue. But it's 600 for now, 800 if we get it working. Asteroids Deluxe, it's missing the black light. So the game works great, no issues. You just need to get a new black light in there, and that one is $450 now. Duck Hunt is sold. That one's gone. Mr. Do is sold. So the dartboard, so you had the 2 in the other room, and then you've got 3 that are here. That box is a new dartboard, as well as there's some darts and other miscellaneous parts in there. So you get essentially 4 games that are pretty much complete, and then a 5th, which is just really the empty shell here. It's got a board on it and some other things, and all 5 of the dartboards total are 500 now, all untested, which is an amazing steal. Superman is still sold. Tron, so this is the one that's also going to be in an upcoming Restore series. So, I'll be working on the Tron, the Robotron, and the Berserk at a minimum. I've got a couple others like the Taito, the multi-Taito. I'll probably put a video out on that one as well, but this one I'm pretty excited about. I've got the full artwork package, all new panels, new everything, so that one's going to be upcoming. Space Invaders here. This one is playing blind. So for $250, you get everything that's in there. It's got a really nice bezel on it. The game, you can hear it playing, no issues. The controls were all working. Just, you got to do some monitor work to get it to come up. Donkey Kong Jr. is sold, and then Spy Hunter here, last but not least. So this is one that's 700. Obviously got some work to do on it still. The control panel is not here, but that is one that we will be working on. So I thought I'd also spin through some of the parts. I don't really have them priced yet, but we are going to start doing that. I know I keep saying I'm going to do that, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So we've got a Star Trek control panel. There's a Dragon's Lair panel down there. Coming in here, we've got some other items that will be coming up for sale. So this is some Asteroids side art and CPO. This panel here is one of the repro ones that is, the art is screened on. So that's all brand new, and that one's going to be coming up. I think we'll probably sell these Pac-Man, they're Bally Midway coin doors. I think there are 3 that are new, the new metal parts of them. Lots of sort of leveling kits and feet, power cords, miscellaneous sort of parts that will be coming out here as well. I think there's some MCR switching power supply adapters, a couple of those. We've got a couple of the Donkey Kong Jr., Mario, Popeye conversion for those power supplies. Spinner knobs for Tempest. There's some Joust Restore rebuild kits for the joysticks. We've got 6 brand new Wiko, new old stock micro switch bases, some Midway joysticks, miscellaneous stuff for Williams games, high score save kits, etc. A lot of this will also be coming out. These are all the Amplifone parts. So we've got flybacks in there. There's several. We've got some of the repro boards in here that'll be, heat sinks, you name it. So those will also be coming out in a parts sale here soon. Tons and tons of cap kits, monitor, game boards, you name it. Bunch of buttons, bunch of locks. I've got some manuals that you can see back in there. So I'll be listing all of this for sale. Coin buckets, some dollar bill changers. Tons and tons of power supplies. You can see I've got a Galaga control panel here with a new control panel sticker, so that's all new. There's a couple what look to be like Atari control panels. Those look new or recently powder coated. That'll be coming out. The J-Rock stuff, so the Berserk Frenzy I'm going to keep, and the Multi-Williams package, which is the bezel and the control panel and harness and whatnot, I'm going to keep that as well. We will have some Tron parts coming up, so you can see there's a sort of the shroud and the plastic. We've got those, plus I also have some Star Wars sort of artwork stuff like that. Another shroud or 2 that are going to be coming up. I did take some photos of the new Amplifone. This is actually coming up for sale, so I'll be putting that in the parts list as well. These were sort of reproduced, I guess, out of Canada maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I think there was a limited number that were found or created, and then obviously long since sold out. You just can't get them anymore. So the new Amplifone will be coming out. Probably some of these Bets and Imperial monitors that are new in the box will also sell. Miscellaneous stuff. I mean, we've got a bunch of monitors, the control panels here. We've got the Spy Hunter ones. There's a Tempest in the corner. We've got a Donkey Kong. Looks like an Arch Rivals, but it really looks like a Dynamo. Just other miscellaneous stuff. I can't even tell what all of it is, but that'll be coming up. I'm not sure what we're going to do with these old tubes. You know, obviously these tubes you could pull, and so Corey might want those. We've got a whole bunch of chassis and other harnesses and things that are in here. As you can see, just boxes of that stuff from different Galagas and Miss Pac-Mans and you name it. There's Transformers and everything else. So anyway, that's a lot of what's coming out. You know, the untested board pile. So these are the ones that we don't have games to test. So those will all be coming up. This pile is all tested and working. So those will also be coming up. I'm looking into the other room here. The bezel pile, I took photos of all of that. So that'll be getting priced and coming out for sale. There's a few more bezels over there. These are our pile of our non-working boards. Most of them ended up being just the Galagas and Dig Dugs. There's very few others that were sort of not working. So I'm pretty optimistic about the untested board pile. With the exception of those two games, really most of the boards that we've had have been working. So this box has other miscellaneous stuff. I don't remember what this is, but I don't know, can't tell at a quick glance. But the Star Wars, the RAM control one, this one's brand new. That will be coming up for sale. And there's a board set, and then that tub below is all full of like marquees and a little bit of side art, mostly marquees and control panel overlays. So all of that will be coming up as well. Like this is a Star Wars shroud in that box down there, and then I have a spare one that's over here as well. So we'll have a couple Star Wars shrouds that are coming up. And so just, you know, as we get through and find parts and things that we want to sell, I mean, the plan still is to sell everything, but obviously we are taking some games with us. But anyway, that's really the updated video. So look for the post. You know, we're down to about a month. July 31st is when we're going to try to pull out of here. So we'll keep the games we want to keep, you know, like the Tapper that Corey's taking, and, you know, whatever else is left, we're just sort of split between the two of us. And so, you know, there might be some things coming up for sale at the last minute once we make the split. I'm interested in some of the stuff, but don't have room for some of it as well. Corey's got tons of warehouses, so he could probably fit a lot more than I will. So, you know, again, it's a sale, but, you know, it's not a fire sale. We're not giving everything away, but there's a bunch of discounted stuff here. And as we get closer to the end of July, you might find there's some deeper discounts on select games. And at some point, you know, with Corey and him being in the arcade business, you know, it's just cheaper for him to keep it than it is to sell it. So the last week or so, we might have a couple, you know, fire sales on any cabinets we have the remaining. And then maybe even a day where we just say, come get it, it's free. You never know. But for right now, we've got reduced prices on everything, and so act fast. And if you have any questions for me, please PM me over on Clav. The Arcade Geek is my name there. You can also email me directly on Gmail, which is Derek Asbury74, DEREKASBURY74 at Gmail. That's another good spot to reach me. But anyway, thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.